Hi, Jean Maru saying hi once again, and more about the technique and the fundamentals involved with our subtle bodies and how they affect our physical body. As I was saying before, our mind gets in the way sometimes, and meditation is the practice of basically stilling your mind, or getting your mind out of the way so that you can get in touch with your higher self. That's precisely the technique involved, but there's a visualization process that has to be engaged once you're in touch with your higher self. Now, there are lots of different methods which you can adopt and use, but once you're in touch with your higher self, I don't mean touch like you're on a conversational level. It's not like that. It is a part of yourself. But the purpose of the higher self is to program the production of new cells within our system. It encodes our cells at every moment of the day. But the higher self is like the transceiver or the receiver of universal energy. Think of ideas as energy, and it's floating around the universe. And these ideas have all sorts of implications, and ideas basically can be funneled, like your higher self will funnel or receive the energies from the universe that are necessary for your own well-being. Your higher self knows what's good for you, in other words. So it encodes your cells through our DNA, and the astral body, the other body I'm talking about, is the actual encoder. It translates from the higher self the message that is being delivered to the cells being produced in our physical body. So that's the purpose of the astral body, to actually encode. The higher self is the receiver. It receives. Think of it as an antenna. The astral body does the work of encoding our DNA, so that at the time of our cell production, it's programmed through the astral body, and the physical body actually is the functional body, which actually that's the result. The physical body is the result of all that programming and energies being sent to us through the universe. Our mind has to be out of the way. If we let our mind get in the way, it could distort, such as fear, for example. It can distort the programming of new cells, so that the body is producing distorted cells or mutated cells, and the result of that can be obvious, such as, Crohn's disease. Okay, new cells are being produced. So what I'm asking you to do in future is to still your mind, get in touch with your higher self, which is in touch with the energies of the universe. And those energies, basically, you tap into the energy of love, of supreme love. Because the higher self only wants what's best for you. And it's up to you to accept that. And let the astral body, the subtle bodies which we take for granted, do its job. And that is the encoding of the cells. But this has to be done through a visualization process. I'd like to get into that later, but I'll give you some idea now, in case you're in a hurry, which I advise you try not to be in a hurry. These things take time. I had to learn how to meditate. It took me time, and meditation is the key to this. It's the visualization process of stilling your body and letting your astral body and the subtle bodies, such as your higher self and your astral body, do their job. Then the body will get, your physical body will get on with it. And this is all governed by your belief system, and also it can be blocked by the ego. I used to consider my ego as a filter. That is the filter that allows the filter that only allows people on the outside to see what the ego wants people to see. And it kind of separates, the ego separates you from the universe and other people. And that's a debilitating thing. It actually works against you. You need to be more in touch, more sensitive, more accepting. You know, we scrutinize all sorts of religions and faiths. This isn't about religion. This is about spirituality. This is about being in touch with your spiritual side, which we neglect. I think we all can admit that. We don't allow ourselves or give ourselves the time to get in touch with our spiritual side. Unless you can perform a little daily ritual of meditating daily and allow yourself that time to do that, then the problems that we have will always be there. Sometimes the problem just needs to be let go of, and see beyond the day-to-day problems and even the physical problems that we have to endure. Sometimes we have to look past that and accept our higher self and become in touch with our spiritual entities. Some people say get in touch with your soul. Your soul's always there. Your soul is part of you. It's the life force, the spark that makes you, that's part of your existence. So I won't go into that too much, but I will get into spirituality and the visualization process. So visualizing. It's not imagination, it's realization. But there are a few principles and a few things that you have to accept and know. There is a forgiveness process, forgiving others, forgiving yourself for giving yourself a hard time all this time, because we don't realize it. We are our worst critic, sometimes our own worst enemy, because we let ourselves get in the way of ourselves. I know this from experience, and you can stop laughing, but yes, I do also have the problem of having little patience, a short wick, and yes, I get in the way. That's probably why I've had so many problems in all my life. But aside from that, we want to get back down to business with this bit of visualization. So in visualizing the new cells being produced every moment, the new cells are being produced in your body, you don't have to, but I advise that by stilling your mind, getting into the quieter side, the quiet you, the higher self, you visualize. You know, there's lots of meditational tapes and stuff out there to help you do this. But the fundamental of this is creating new cells and tapping into the automatic function that the subtle bodies are performing as part of you, as part of the healing process. So we'll get more into that later, but for today, I think, I hope you can find some time to ritualize your life by finding some quiet time for yourself, to learn to still your mind, to learn to accept that you have a higher self and other subtle bodies that perform functions purely for your benefit, and also to keep your mind out of the way. The mind has a purpose. Surely it has a purpose. It helps you to reason, deduce, calculate, all sorts of reasons your mind's there. But your mind is a tool, and this is what you need to do. Use your mind to guide the energies and feel the energies coming from the universe that go through your higher self, through to your astral body, through to your physical body, in the process of generating new cells. I keep going on about that, I know, but it is very important. It is part of the visualization process, which we'll get into later. But in the meantime, I'll put together something, a visualization and meditational session, not right now, but in the next video, that hopefully you'll get some benefit from, and go from there. Okay. Love and light to you all. Thank you.